Hey gang, it's been a little while since we had a little chat at the start of a video, but we just want to say that
there is going to be a big announcement at the end of the video. So
there you go.
Make sure you stay tuned for the whole video.
People will just fast forward to see the announcement now, won't they? No, don't do that. Watch the whole video. All right, see you at the end. It's 10 o'clock in the morning. We've just been listening to some music, having breakfast. This was breakfast. Some fish. You're pretty used to us seeing fish. We're going to just have a look at how we're going. We're about 2 months into this cruise since we left things like shops and places where to get water and fuel and things like that. So we'll have a little bit of a look at how we stand 2 months into just living out in remote areas.
Yeah.
What do you think?
How we make it work.
Yeah. Well, the first thing we need to do is to get rid of our table scraps. So we'll go and we'll do that first, and then we'll have a look at what Pascale's prepared. Remember, this is 2 months out.
On our last dive, we'd noticed that we'd picked up a few hitchhikers, and on this morning, we were wondering if they were still around.
No need to fight. Oh, look at that. I'm down that in one. Did well.
We just killed the wind generator because that was on before. Hopefully you weren't too annoyed by that sound, but we get used to it. It's just like a second sound that we ignore. But I've just opened the fridge and I'm wasting power leaving the fridge open like this while I talk to you.
You cats.
Grabbing out the cheesecake for us to have for morning tea. But I just wanted to show you what else is in our fridge after 8 weeks out from civilization. Got this handy basket with the last of our condiments. We've got a little bit of mustards and stuff like that. The last 500 grams of butter. And yeah, just a few bits.
From what? So what did we start with?
We went sailing with 2 kilos of butter 8 weeks ago, and then we got a 2 kilo top up 3 weeks ago. We use about 500 gram a week.
Okay.
Which seems like a lot, but we don't really use any vegetable oils in our diet. We don't have any vegetable oils in our diet. We use only saturated fats and monounsaturated in the form of olive oil.
Yeah, no machine lubricant.
No machine lubricant for us. So this morning we were having coffee and tea, and we didn't get the camera out yet, but I made a 3 litre batch of yogurt, so that's 1.5 litres here and another 1.5 litres of yogurt here.
How is this possible?
It's possible because we make it with milk powder. So we're on our second last bag of milk powder now. So yeah, at some point in the next 2 to 3 weeks, we'll definitely need to go back because we're going to start to be only eating fish, which is fine, but you know, and we'll be limited on cooking oils and things like that. So the rest of the fridge is fish and sprouts and some beans, basically. So all of the sprouts and the beans, they've just come from our dried stores. We've got some radish sprouts here, and there's some mung bean sprouts in the bottom. There's also pickled fish, which prolongs the life. If we've got lots of fish on board, we'll pickle some up, and that prolongs the life. Another way that we prolong the life of the mackerel that we caught a few weeks ago is that we smoked up a heap of mackerel, and that can last for weeks in the fridge as well. So that's a whole lot of smoked mackerel in here. Pork, which we still have a little tiny bit left of. So I actually brought some pork belly out with us and cured it while we were away about 4 weeks ago, because we had an initial amount of cured pork belly. We had a kilo that we cured, and then I cured another kilo 3 weeks ago and air dried it, and this is what's left of it. So the cured pork belly, the sprouts which are in the fridge, and the yogurt, I talk about all of that in the provisioning guide. If you haven't downloaded it yet, it's in the description of all our videos. Yeah, it's a really good read if you're interested in provisioning long term on your boat. Or actually, if you're going on expeditions or any remote travel.
And what does it cost to anyone that downloads?
Oh, it's free.
Provisioning guide.
It's free. Free! So yeah. Let's put this stuff away and eat the cheesecake before it starts to get warm, because you've got to eat it cold. Smells nice. So this is Bachi cheesecake with butterscotch pecans on top. because we didn't have hazelnuts to put on top. And hopefully, if it tastes as delicious as it looks and smells, it'll be in my upcoming cookbook that I've been writing a lot lately. Over the last 8 weeks while we've been away from distractions and the internet, I've been writing a lot of it. So look forward to that coming soon. I'm going to cut it now.
I have to say I'm pretty excited. Red Dragon Forge, if you're watching, Mike, we've got your paring knife here. At the moment it's a cheesecake knife, a very, very sharp Damascus.
I had to get through the pecans.
You had to get through the pecans?
Yeah. It's stuck to the
Ta-da!
knife.
If you followed our refit and you've been wondering how things are going,
Actually, probably a plate.
those these little braces that we put in, these aluminium braces, we've gone through the tropics now, things are heating up and it's prevented this from warping, which has been really good. What we did have to do is just run a shoulder plane just a little bit, just take off a fraction of a millimetre because it did actually swell. Are we good?
Yeah, I went with a plate instead of a bowl. It's easier.
We are a little bit uncouth here on free range sailing. I'm having to use just a standard old dinner fork.
Instead of a dessert fork?
Yeah.
I'm going to use a teaspoon because then it lasts longer.
That is so good. Even though, so the dark chocolate we used was 85%.
85% dark chocolate, so it actually tastes quite chocolatey.
It really tastes chocolatey.
85% is a good one to have in your stores because you're not really going to reach out and grab it to snack on. You'll end up using it for your cooking and make like beautiful treats.
That is not true.
Well, it's the one that lasted the longest, isn't it?
You're less,
All the other chocolate's long gone.
you're less likely to reach out and snack on it.
That's true.
It's not that you're not going to.
I have on Passage eaten 85%.
Yeah, now we're talking.
When it's like 5 in the morning and you're really tired.
It must be said that 2 months out, this is our last cheesecake. If we brought more, but if we had more cream cheese, we'd still got everything else, right?
Yeah. Yeah. We'd probably have to make it vanilla flavour, but that's okay. Vanilla cheesecake's nice.
Huh.
We've just run out of fresh fruit and chocolate, so
Okay.
yeah,
Not bad for a 30-footer.
not bad.
With no freezer. Well, we've got neap tides here at the moment. That means the smallest variation in high tide and low tide, if you don't know what I'm talking about. And usually that coincides with the clearest water you're going to find if you're going to go out diving. So we've come here. There's a nice shore dive here. We're just going to paddle over straight from the boat and we're just going to swim along shore. We've had a tiger shark hanging around lately and he's pretty cool. But I don't want to jinx myself by hoping that he shows up, but still, I hope he shows up.
Despite the neap tides, the visibility was still poor and deteriorating, so we didn't capture too much of this dive on film. When we awoke, our anchorage had become untenable, and with more strong winds forecast, we decided to weigh anchor and sail to a more protected anchorage off the mainland.
We've got strong wind warning, so we're running to a better spot to hang out.
We're not running. We're smashing our way there.
We're smashing our way there. We're not really running at all, are we? We're just, what is it? Beating. We're beating our way to whether to get to some shelter. But Troy was pointing out that What's quite difficult about sailing in Western Australia, or this part of the coast anyway, is you've got clear skies and the mainland is dead flat, so there's no landmarks to steer towards.
We're sailing to the sail because the winds are shifting as well, so I'm pretty much just sailing on the edge of the luff.
Yep.
But what happens is that you can't see where that luff is and go, oh, for the next like 5 minutes I'll just steer relative to that cloud until it shifts.
Oh,
or there's something on the horizon, I'll just keep that in the shroud.
Yeah.
To give you a reference point. There's nothing, it's just...
So you're just constantly looking at the sails to sail?
Yeah, it's basically our angle relative to the oncoming waves, really.
Yeah.
But,
so we're only going 5 miles and Troy's opted to hand steer just because the wind is shifting a little bit and our autopilot doesn't deal with it that well.
We're double reef though, we're making 4.6 knots now that I'm hand steering anyway. The poor old autopilot wasn't getting that. It's getting like 3.6 or something.
Yeah, we weren't going nearly as fast. We've double reefed just for comfort really. For being cruisers, not racers. And we have the makings of stir fry going on here. This is the last of our coral trout from when we were out at the reef. And we've got some broccoli sprouts here. I think we'll just add these at the end on top. We won't cook them, but we will cook these. We've got some mung bean sprouts here. They need to be eaten up. So yeah, we've run out of fresh vegetables. This is actually our we've still got ginger, but this is our last brown onion here. We've got a couple more red onions, but we've pretty much run out of fresh fruit and veg now. So yeah, we're eating lots of sprouts because they're still fresh and delicious. We're just making our own vegetables.
We just had these really great sardines get land on our boat because there's a fish chasing them around down there. So we'll see what happens when we lob one in.
Oh, he's on. See what's predating on them. That was quick. Little mackerel?
Yeah, little mackerel. Little spotties, they're little school mackerel. So I think we'll. We
don't have much fish at the moment.
No, we'll grab this guy.
Oh, nice. Oh my goodness, they're jumping out of the water. Oh my goodness.
Now we know what all those birds are chasing. Having a quick way to respond to baitfish getting thrown onto your boat by predators circling around is not a bad thing. You know what that was? All that was the lure that the rod we've been using, very, very light line just to throw lures, so it's just had that clipped, and I just chucked one of the doubles on that we put on our lures, just so one would hold the fish, and I had one hook just ready to go. That wouldn't be a recommended one. Like if you had a larger gape sort of octopus or something like that, it'd go well, but I knew that there'd always be a hook free, which I guarantee is a pretty fast hookup. Pretty solid
we only
hookup.
had two live baits and we got 2 mackerel on them.
2 mackerel from 2 baits. That's really good because we're going to eat the last of our trout now. We've got some fresh fish. Yeah. These guys are super quick to process too. They're just basically ring and done. So
we have some maybe mackerel curry.
Do that. Since Pascale washed my hair, it just blows around in the wind now. It doesn't stay put.
It looks actually quite nice.
Is it?
Yeah, it's very smart.
feel like something out of the Bee Gees.
Nah, doesn't look BG like. That was yesterday.
Yesterday, was it?
Yeah.
A gift.
So quick. Uber Eats.
These are almost as good as the squid showing up. That's a nice, neat little fillet there.
Yeah.
And a good fish. And a great fish. They're all pretty good. They're
All
even
fish.
better. Okay, hope you enjoyed the video. Now, we have some news, don't we, Pasky?
Yes, we do. We have some very big news. Probably the biggest news that's ever dropped on free range.
Everyone's like, oh my God, she's pregnant.
And I'm not pregnant.
Oh. No, we're going to put MIRROOL up for sale. So everyone that's in Australia, you have the opportunity to...
Or that can get to Australia.
Yeah, you have the opportunity to move into our old home. So MIRROOL's been our home for me 7 years and 5 for Pasky.
Yep.
You've been with us as we circumnavigated Australia. Some of you will be like, oh my goodness, I watched the whole refit in Tassie, you went through all of that, why? Now we had to do that to cross the bight. The MIRROOL, as she was when we got down to the bottom, we needed to actually do her up to cross the Great Australian Bight to go into the Southern Ocean. Someone's like, it's not the Southern Ocean. Our hydrographers call it the Southern Ocean. And so if you're a little bit confused as to why we put all that work in, that was our insurance policy. But as a result, this boat's pretty much, she was proven going across, so she's done really well. And then further as we sailed up the WA coast. Right?
Exactly.
The other thing that we were aiming at for the refit is we weren't just thinking of ourselves, we were thinking of the future owner. So with the Dyneema and a lot of the fit out, it's so that it's cheap to re-rig in the future, it's user serviceable. We've tried to keep all the shop bought parts down to a minimum, and the things that do get replaced will be cheap and tough. So you know, that's a thing. How are people going to find more details?
So we've listed the boat with boat sales, and so we've put a link to that in the description of the video.
There we've put a list of all the things done. Of course, you can watch what MIRROOL's done, and you can watch what the refit involved. So that's all there.
We're excited about a new owner for her, but someone that's going to take her on adventures and enjoy the boat like we've enjoyed the boat.
Yeah, if you're going to just stick it in a marina, the price is double.
And having said that about the price as well, is she's obviously not the same price as other Clansman's because a whole lot of work has gone into it. And I was just thinking about it today and talking to Troy about it today. Pretty much everything on this boat has been rebuilt or replaced apart from the engine, the solar arch and solar panels and pushpin pulpit pretty much.
It's the original tiller.
Oh, original tiller. And the hull's original, but we've fixed all that osmosis, so.
You're right. We do have some other friends that just redid a Clansman, and they let us know they spent $100 grand redoing it.
Which would have easily have spent that over the 5 years that I've been on the boat. So it's just a never-ending thing. Yeah. And also she's ready to go. She's ready for you to take sailing. You know that she's ready for remote adventures. Mm-hmm. We're kind of in a situation where we can't leave the boat in Western Australia for sale for a long period of time. So if we don't sell her straight away here, we're going to be looking at sailing her back over east. So if you want her, you need to act now, otherwise she won't be available.
All right, so we're going to say goodbye to the old girl. I don't know how long we've still got her for. That's it. It's a big announcement, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you enjoyed this week's video, thank you for giving it a thumbs up. It really helps us out. Again, if you are interested in purchasing our boat, all the information is in the description of this video. And a big thank you to our very special patrons for keeping this announcement a secret. We look forward to sharing more adventures with you next week.